What is up, everyone? Steve, When Geeks Collide, coming at you with Steve, my top 10 Marvel Legends, comic book based Marvel Legends of 2022. Now that the year is over, we're into the new year, and before we start picking up new Marvel Legends, we got to do what everyone else does. We got to make a few lists, and we're going to start things off right away. And this Skrull Soldier is not in my top 10. I opened him when we were doing the podcast the other night, and I thought, kind of thought he would be maybe the most disappointing figure for me. And I kind of ran him down, but he is pretty cool. The more I look at it, but yeah, this is not an honorable mentions or anything, but I just want to put something on there while I was talking, and we're getting ready to start this off. So here it comes right now. When Geeks Collide, Steve's top 10 comic-based Marvel Legends for 2022. Let's go. We're going to kick it off right away. Number 10, Madam Hydra, also known as Viper. In a year where I didn't get that many comic-based Marvel Legends, this was one that was on my list. I pre-ordered her. I was hoping it would be on the Shriek body, which it was not. But what are you going to do? Still pretty solid. It's mostly a repaint, but at the end of the day, it does get the point across. It's Madam Hydra. She was green. She's a member of Hydra. It's got the Hydra logos on her holster. Great figure from the controller wave. A wave that I don't have too many figures from. I'm still trying to piece together. But I got the ones that I wanted the most checked off my list. And you might see some of them in this list. But, number 10, Madam Hydra. All right, next, number 9, from the Rentra Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness wave, we have Sleepwalker. There's a lot of reuse in this figure, I know, but for what it is, I love it. It's Sleepwalker. I'm a 90s guy. When you bring out the 90s characters, I get excited. I was excited for this guy. I grabbed him. He was on sale. I think he was $20, like a month after it came out. When we've had the price increase here. So I picked it up. I love it. It's number 9. Might have been a little bit higher, but there were some people that got bumped off the list with some recent figures making their way on. But great figure. I think I'm really going to have a 90s focused shelf, and he's going to be the centerpiece. Coming in at number 8 from the Walgreens exclusive Villains wave, I guess, we have Jigsaw. Now, at the time of this airing, I don't know if my review has been posted up, so I don't know which one's going to come first. But I dig this figure. I talked about in the review how suit bodies mostly suck. Very hard to get some of these guys to stand up, especially when they have shoes like that. But great figure. Came with a ton of accessories. Came with a bat, a machete, 2 knives, muzzle flashes, smoke coming out of the barrel of the double-barreled shotgun. Great figure. It's good to have some Punisher villains in the Marvel Legends mix, and it's just great overall, and that's why he is my number 8 of my top 10. Coming in at number 7 is a figure that, honestly, I don't know too much about him, and I think I had the one from the All-Father Build-A-Figure wave, and I got rid of him. Really had no interest, probably wouldn't have picked him up if I didn't find him at a Walgreens when I was in the States for $7.20. Had to pick him up, open him up. He is very badass. Made his way onto the list. Like I said, he's number 7 for the year. Century. I think he's one of the villains. I don't know much about him. Great looking figure. He really snuck in there and took me by surprise. It's not pinless. I don't really care about that. It's just kind of cool when it is. But yeah, for $7.20, he made it on the list, number 7. And let's go on to number 6. Hydra getting some serious representation on this list. Baron Zemo. Uh, I missed out on, not I missed out, I never picked him up. I used to see him all the time from the Winter Soldier wave. Uh, yeah, I never picked him up, and I always wanted him. I always looked for him. Then we had the Walgreens exclusive from the Villains wave, and I grabbed him. I got him at GameStop. He's number 6. Very cool. He was ranked higher, but like I said, there's some newer additions that bumped him. But great looking figure. A definite must have, especially for myself being a big Captain America fan. Pinless arms, not pinless legs, but close enough. It's a great looking figure, and yeah, number 6. At number 5, from the Bone Breaker Build-A-Figure wave, we got Havoc, 80s, I guess, Outback era, just classic Havoc. Looks amazing. The effects are great. They look great. Just a great figure. So far, is the only one I picked up from this wave. But he's great. He's great, and I definitely a must-have because I'm trying to build that Outback look of the X-Men team, and they're helping us out with that. But as I said, great looking figure. The effects really pop. Better than the Warlock wave or Juggernaut wave. Havoc, classic look. Love them. That's my number 5. Coming in at number 4, we got U.S. Agent from the Controller wave. I know, first of all, this is my list, guys. Different figures mean different things, right? And I know this is pretty much just a repaint and stuff like that, but I love Captain America. I love the U.S. Agent, and this figure it's a great figure. I loved it. If you watch the review, you see me talk about it. I'm very happy with this figure. He was a lot higher, like pretty close to number 1, and then he got bumped. It's pure nostalgia with me. West Coast Avengers, just great stuff. This figure, I loved it. It's perfect for me. And again, it's my list, and I really dig him. I don't know what else to say. I just really love this figure. That's why he is number 4. Coming in at number 3, we got Marvel's Spiral from the X-Men Retro Carded wave. It's a great figure. The next 2 spots were a toss-up. She was almost number 2. She's a great figure. I just opened her. I just reviewed her. Again, another review. I don't know if it's already going to be up or it'll be up shortly after this, but great figure. A must need it update. Does that make sense? Must need it update. We definitely needed an update of her, especially with the Mojo pack and Mojo just being out and Long Shot. They all go together. Great figure, and gonna look great on my X-Men villains wall. And yeah, so let's head over to number 2. Okay, so if there's one figure that I see anyone giving me grief over the position on the list, it's going to be Hammerhead from the Spider-Man Retro Carded wave. This figure totally took me by surprise. He looked great in the package when I got him out. Notice he had the brass knucks. He got the baseball bat in his hand. He's pinless. He is a suited body that stands great. I think it's the Happy Hogan body, to be honest. But yeah, I fell in love with this figure when I opened it up. We did the podcast and did our top 3 action figures of the year, and he was my number 3. I love him. I love this era of Spider-Man. reminds me of reading my brother's Web of Spider-Man comics in the 80s and early 90s. He just kicks ass. He's my number 2. I know, guys, don't bite my head off. But before I go to number 1, I just want to give a special honorable mention to Galactus. Now, I have Galactus. I have not opened my Galactus yet. So I'm sure there's things in there, like Galactus probably is going to be most people's number 1. He's an amazing figure. And I know this by, I haven't even opened him yet. So, I'm not, what would you say? I'm not ignoring Galactus. He has a lot of great merits, and I'm sure if he was open, he'd definitely be in this list, but I have not had the time to open him, nor the space to put him anywhere. But, yeah, I'll definitely get to it. Definite honorable mention for Galactus. And now it is time to move on to number 1. And number 1, as if there was any doubt, Uncanny X-Men number 275. Wolverine in the X-Men uniforms, the blue and gold uniforms. If you listen to the podcast, top 3 action figures of the year, this was my number 1. Of course, he's my number 1 Marvel Legend. As I said in the review, he is like a figure I've wanted for so long. It's the perfect Wolverine. Like, he is, if I could only display one Wolverine, it's going to be him. He's awesome. He just, a lot of people don't like the claws. I love how they do the claws. And just, there's no one else that could have been my number 1. I only got him within the last week and a half, and to open him up, do the review, and he's my number 1. He's the best. He is my number 1 for the year 2022. I think I could safely say right now he is probably my number 1, if not in my top 3 Marvel Legends figures I own. But yeah, guys, that's my list. I'm sure your list was different. And, that's the beauty of this hobby. And we can all discuss things like this. We could talk about it down in the comments. And, let me know what are your top 10? And don't give me too much grief, because I'm sure there's a couple on here that you guys are just like, oh, wow, man. Wow. Well, there you have it. That's my top 10 comic book based Marvel Legends of 2022. As I said earlier, 2022, I cut back a lot. I do have a lot of MCU figures. But, these were my favorite of my 10 favorite comic book based ones. Again, no Galactus, because I have not opened them yet. But guys, this is just my opinion. And, if your opinion varies or differs, that's the beauty of this community. Like I said, you can write down below, leave a comment. Let me know your top 10, or even your top 5, top 3, whatever. But let me know who your favorite Marvel Legend, comic book based Marvel Legend for the year 2022 was. And guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Liking, subscribing, sharing. Maybe sharing takes a little bit of work, but liking and subscribing, no work at all. And if you really like what you see, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified to when we have new toy hunts and action figure reviews dropping in 2023. It's going to be daily, so prepare yourself. And find us on all the social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, When Geeks Collide. You will find us on there. And you can find us talking about geeky type stuff on anchor.fm/WGC Network for our podcast network. Or you can just type in When Geeks Collide on Spotify, you will find us. And where else are we? If you go to Instagram, Multiverse Legends, that is our sister Instagram account. It's for action figure photography. You can find us on there, posing some action figures and taking some pictures. And guys, thank you. The last few months of 2022 turned out being some of our best months we've ever had on the channel. And thank you for watching. And just stay tuned for more. We will be posting every day, or at least trying to post every day, but for sure multiple times a week. And guys, as always, how we always end it, geeks out.